you'll have a couple of different things to handle in your hand. So you can manage accordingly. Either put it here or give it to Patty.
Okay. Yep. I think I was going to give it to Patty. Yep.
So you and Patty, Sandy has it down on the cues for all of these things. And you know which sentence to drop here.
Yep. Good afternoon. My name is Scott Krakovich. I am a graduating chemical engineer. Welcome to the Fall 2015 Engineering Undergraduate Commencement. Please stand and join me in opening our ceremony by the singing of the National Anthem. I respectfully request that the degree candidates and others wearing caps remove them during the National Anthem. Would you please rise? So I've been honored to give the opening remarks. Our graduating class, we've worked hard these past 4 to 5 years, and we finally made it to this moment. Lectures, homeworks, exams, we've definitely had our fair share. You could find us at the conference. You could find us in the lab. Indeed, we did it all, and we did it with great success. And you know what they say, the best prediction for the future is the past. So I would say we have some bright futures ahead of us. But as much as this ceremony is about us celebrating the closure of all our hard work, it is also a celebration for many members of the audience, including parents, grandparents, family, and friends. You see, we are celebrating the accomplishments of these last 4 years, but you are celebrating the hard work of 20-plus years that it took to raise us into the individuals that you see on the stage. You share in our success, and it is from your support and dedication that we have gotten, for why we have gotten this far. So on behalf of the Fall 2015 graduating class, I want to welcome you to our commencement celebration. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Dr. Nagi Naganathan, Professor and Dean of the College of Engineering.
Thank you, Scott. You will have a chance to see Scott a little later again. Good afternoon. Come on now, there are 1,000 people here. It has to be a lot better. Good afternoon. So much better. We are delighted to have so many families and friends join us today to celebrate the accomplishments of these young men and women who have worked so diligently to earn their undergraduate degrees. So to our graduates seated behind me, 4 years ago, you set a goal to be seated where you are this day. During these 4 years, you waded through heavy paperwork, you dodged the occasional inclement weather of insecurity, and you pressed on despite the late-night rations of pizza and other fluids. Fluids we will refer to today, particularly in front of your families, as caffeine. You certainly deserve to enjoy this moment. We too look forward to this day each fall and spring semester. The college is continuing to raise the bar, and we have set some real stretch goals for ourselves for the future. I want our families, friends, and other guests to know that this graduating class helped to lay the foundation for success, enabling us to reach these goals. How can we not achieve our aspirational goals with a student body like the one we are honoring this week, which has so many great attributes? Just to state a few of these, 40% of all valedictorians attending the University of Toledo are enrolled in the College of Engineering. 37% of all UT's honor students are in the College of Engineering. The average ACT scores of entering freshmen this fall were in the 85th to 98th percentile in the nation. And the average high school GPA of our entering class is about 3.7. More than 85% of all engineering students that started as freshmen last year stayed on as sophomores at UT this fall, a very strong metric for an open access public university. We are proud of the fact that we are among a select group of schools recognized as Best of Co-op for our mandatory cooperative experience program. Finally, this calendar year is the 17th year of the implementation of our mandatory cooperative experience. We are one of only 8 such engineering programs in the nation. Over the last 17 years, we have placed our students in more than 17,000 cooperative experience opportunities in 44 states and 39 countries. Our employer network has grown to be more than 2,300 employers, and our college placed students in nearly 1,500 co-op positions just this calendar year. Credit goes obviously to our Career Development Center staff, and particularly our students, your sons and daughters, who have done a great job where they worked. They have impressed their employers with their intellect, with their professionalism, obviously their performance at work. Our emphasis on student quality and student success, I'm pleased to add, has allowed this college grow in size also every year during the last 10 years. Today, we are the largest academic college at UT because our students are successful. Couple the outstanding qualities of the student body with our faculty, who are committed to high-quality instruction and have, in addition, demonstrate an average research activity of about $10 million from external agencies each year, we have one great product. Now, addressing our graduates, Robert Fulghum wrote a book that you might be familiar with, All I Really Needed to Know, I Learned in Kindergarten. He enumerated a list of 16 things that he learned, including sharing everything, playing fair, cleaning up your own mess, and say you are sorry when you hurt somebody. These are necessary life lessons for interacting and getting along with others in your personal life as well as your professional life. Some of you will start your own companies. Some of you will move into management roles. Some of you will follow a technical track throughout your careers. But wherever the road takes you, continue your education, work hard, and remember another of Robert Fulghum's recommendations: when you go out into the world, watch out for traffic, hold hands, and stick together. And as you navigate the successful careers, I urge you to remember where you started and be proud that you are a Toledo rocket engineer. Graduates, I'm sure you will readily agree with me that your success did not happen just by your own efforts, but with the support of many special people in your lives, as Scott said. I would now like to pay tribute to all the parents and grandparents, spouses and children, friends and loved ones here today. Let's give these special people a round of applause. I would now like to introduce our special guests. As I call their names, I request them to rise and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all of them have been recognized. I am delighted several members of our Board of Trustees are here. First, I would like to introduce Mr. Joseph Zerbe IV, former chairman and current member of the UT Board of Trustees. Mr. Zerbe is president and general manager of the Toledo Blade. Mr. Jeff Cole, member of the UT Board of Trustees. Mr. Cole is a senior director for corporate communications at Dana Holding Corporation. Ms. Mary Ellen Pesanelli is the newest member of our board, and she was recently appointed by Governor Kasich. She is a partner at Shoemaker, Loop & Kendrick LLP in Toledo. Dr. Randy Ustra, Chief Executive Officer for ProMedica Health System and our keynote speaker today. I'm delighted that Mrs. Barbara Ustra is also with us. Barb, if you could stand up and be recognized also. Welcome to the college. And I'm glad Professor John Barrett, Interim Provost and Executive VP for Academic Affairs, has also joined us to congratulate the graduates. I would also like to recognize one of our parents today who is in the audience, who has traveled a great distance to be with us. He has earned the largest number of frequent flyer miles graduating his family here. This is Mr. Ahmed Al-Mazroui. If you could stand up, please. He is chairman of the Ahmed Al-Mazroui Group in Abu Dhabi, United States. I would like to add the son, Omar, that is graduating today, is number 6 in his family, attending the University of Toledo. So I think he has taken that 7,000 flight many, many times. So please join me in thanking our special guest here today. Please be seated. Yeah. Next, I would like to recognize one of our faculty members who's retiring from our college after the ceremony today, Professor Dan Solarek. Dan, would you join me here, please? Professor Solarek began his career at the College of Engineering in 1977 and served as professor and chair of the Engineering Technology Department. He was among the first to develop and teach distance learning classes and to develop an online degree completion program at UT. Dr. Solarek also created the Computer Science and Technology program, the first program of that kind in the nation to be accredited, and is one of the vibrant majors at the university today. Dan, thank you for your service. We wish you a very happy and healthy retirement. We are very proud of our students, as you can witness from the enthusiasm around this event, and it is now my pleasure to recognize a selected few for 5 college awards. Each of the awards includes a certificate and a monetary gift. These awardees, excepting for one, do not know that they are receiving these awards today. The good news is the check is not in the mail. I invite the student awardees to join me at the podium when I call their names and accept their awards. The first of the awards is the Outstanding Senior Scholar Award, given to the graduating senior with the highest GPA in the college. This fall, we have only one student in this graduating class with a perfect 4.0 grade point average. Our senior scholar is Scott Grekowitz of Chemical Engineering. Scott, could you join me here, please? Scott is originally from Harbor Beach, Michigan. He has been the recipient of several scholarships and awards offered through the college and the university, including the Tower Scholarship and the Lubrizol Scholarship. Throughout his time at UT, Scott was on the President's List and the College of Engineering Dean's List. In addition to his commitment to academics, Scott has taken leadership roles in a number of student organizations. He also participated in Walk for Water and UT Club Soccer in his spare time, if there is one. Scott completed 5 co-op rotations with Dow Chemical Company at their locations in Harbor Beach, Michigan, Midland, Michigan, and Indianapolis. As you might guess, after graduation, Scott will start his full-time position with Dow Chemicals at their Harbor Beach location. Congratulations, Scott, on what you have accomplished already and what is definitely yet to come. Thank you. Next, we have 2 recipients of the Outstanding Student Leader Award, recognizing service and leadership in a college organization. I invite Jared Dupes of Chemical Engineering and Courtney Crable of Mechanical Engineering to join me at the podium. As Courtney comes up to join us here, Jared is a consummate student leader. He re-energized the student chapter of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, nearly quadrupling its membership during his tenure as president. He also organized the participation of 40 students in the National Student Conference in Atlanta. His leadership in our student chapter was recognized at the AACHE North Central Regional Student Conference, where he was appointed regional liaison to the National Executive Committee. His initiative also led to Toledo being selected as host for the 2019 Regional Conference, which our current freshman will run at the time. While Jared clearly has demonstrated his leadership potential, he has also been a contributor to other state service activities, ranging from installing water purification systems in El Salvador to tutoring freshmen. His leadership is well deserving of recognition. Congratulations, Jared. Courtney has been a pillar of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers student section ever since she was a freshman in 2011. She has held a variety of leadership positions, including president, secretary, and vice president for communications. Under her leadership, our ASME chapter has stayed very active in recruiting and retaining new members. She helped to organize and lead Highway 75 cleanups, plan tours, guest speakers, and euchre tournaments. Courtney has been an excellent ambassador for the college. She has volunteered on numerous occasions to meet with prospective students and parents for open house events to discuss the field of mechanical engineering and the ASME organization. In addition, she has served as a teaching assistant and peer mentor for the MIME orientation course, working with over 250 students. Congratulations, Courtney, and congratulations, Jared. Our next award is the Outstanding Senior for College Contributions in recognition of service, leadership, and involvement in college activities and organizations. I invite Christine Hoholsky of Civil Engineering to join me here. Christine has demonstrated significant commitment to the college through her contributions to many student organizations and activities. For example, she has been president of Chi Epsilon, the Civil Engineering Honors Fraternity, since 2013. She was the American Society of Civil Engineers, North Central Regional Conference Logistics Lead, and she's a member of the Tau Beta Pi Honors Fraternity and the American Society of Civil Engineers, the UT Engineering Council, as well as a member of the group Building Ohio's Sustainable Energy Future. Christine increased the membership as well as engagement of young members in many of these organizations, ensuring the success of these organizations beyond her tenure at UT. She also served as a civil engineering mentor and as a volunteer for UT Experience Days. She has completed 4 co-ops, 3 of them with the Marathon Oil Company. She's an exemplary role model of leadership and has served the department and the college in many capacities. Congratulations, Christine. Next, we have the award for the Outstanding Senior for Campus and Community Contributions in recognition of service, leadership, and involvement in campus and community activities and organizations. I invite Lucy Hosenfeld of Chemical Engineering to join me. Lucy's passion for helping others is clear in her actions and has impacted people around the world. Her GPA of 3.983 places her near the top of an extremely competitive senior class, and her academic performance was complemented by her service activities. Lucy's mission is helping the organization Clean Water for the World, which is a nonprofit organization providing water purification units to marginalized neighborhoods. Since 2012, she has served as a director, co-director, and community outreach director for Toledo Walk for Water, a fundraiser for Clean Water for the World, enabling the purchase of supplies required for assembling the purification units. Over her last spring break, Lucy led a 6-person team to install the units in El Salvador. Most recently, she also led an effort to incorporate assembly and design of these units in the chemical engineering freshman class. The students will build units and propose changes to improve performance as part of their freshman design experience. Lucy applied for grants to defray the cost of this program and coordinated a visit by Clean Water for the World to train upperclassmen mentors. The project has been so popular, in the chemical engineering department, they had to limit the participation. Lucy's volunteer efforts include myriad of other activities, such as Toledo Clean Your Streams and Food for Thought. I have no doubt that she will excel in her life and make a tremendous difference in the lives of many, many people in the world in the years to come. Congratulations, Lucy. The last of the student awards is the Engineering Pride Award. The award is given to a student that exemplifies what it means to be a UT Rocket and has helped the college in fulfilling the university's mission to improve the human condition. I invite Erin Gordon of Chemical Engineering to join me. Erin will graduate with honors from the Chemical Engineering Department with minors in both business and chemistry. She has provided leadership in numerous college organizations throughout her time here and possesses a personality that infects others and motivates them to join her in service. In Theta Tau, the engineering fraternity, she has served as Rush Chair and Pledge Instructor. Her efforts in the 2015 fall Rush led to the recruitment of the largest pledge class in several years. She ran the Teetering for Tots fundraiser to benefit Sunshine communities and implemented a new alumni dinner as part of the event, raising over $2,000. She also coordinated Theta Tau's Great Lakes Regional Conference this fall, one of the biggest events our chapter has ever hosted. In addition to Theta Tau, Erin served as a pledge master for Omega Chi Epsilon, the Chemical Engineering Honor Society. This semester, she assumed additional responsibility by tutoring and mentoring freshman design groups. Erin has also been an active member of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, a freshman interest group leader. Finally, Erin's undergraduate research on 3D printing of centrifugal pump heads is being used to develop a National Science Foundation proposal on incorporating 3D printing across the engineering curriculum. She has truly served as an example of enthusiasm, integrity, and leadership in her field for incoming students. Congratulations, Erin. I am pleased that our interim provost and executive vice president for academic affairs, John Barrett, is here with us today. I invite Provost Barrett to the podium to share his remarks. Provost Barrett.
Congratulations, members of the class of 2015, and welcome to all the parents, grandparents, siblings, children, spouses, significant others, and friends of today's honorees. There are few greater joys for an academic than attending graduation. We put a piece of ourselves into our students, and though we are sad to see you go, we are elated by your success. Similarly, family and friends have helped support each of you through all of the challenges you have been through over the past few years, and they share in your accomplishment today. But most of all, it is a time for you to revel in your success. After many late nights, term papers and exams, successful and failed experiments, and probably a prayer or two, you have made it to the finish line, graduation. But this is also the start of a new journey. Your career as an engineer. Some of you will build things, others will invent things, still others will improve them, and some of you will find cleaner and more efficient ways to produce them. You will be living our mission statement to improve the human condition every day. As provost, I attend a lot of graduation ceremonies, and I especially enjoy coming to the ones at our College of Engineering. Near the end of the ceremony, our graduates are inducted into the Order of the Engineer. The history of the Order is a sobering reminder of the vital role engineers play in making our world run smoothly and the consequences when corners are cut. We place our trust in you to ensure your inventions, processes, and structures not only make our lives better, but are safe. I know you will take this responsibility seriously and make us proud in all that you accomplish. You are joining one of the most honorable professions, and you will make a difference. Tomorrow you begin that new journey. But for today, celebrate. Pat yourself on the back for a job well done and success well deserved. Thank your family and friends for all they gave to you to help make this day possible, and tell your favorite professor the impact they made on you. Congratulations, thank you, and best wishes for a bright future.
Thank you very much, John. Now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker today, Dr. Randy Oostra, President and Chief Executive Officer for the ProMedica Health System. Dr. Oostra's professional accomplishments are very extensive. They are detailed in his bio in the program, so I will not repeat all of them here. He has been President and Chief Executive Officer of ProMedica Health System since 2009. Prior to this, he had had multiple leadership roles, both within ProMedica as well as other healthcare organizations in 4 other states. He is a member of several boards, governors, advisory boards, Toledo Rotaries, and so on. And he chairs many activities and organizations. So one might wonder what is in common between a healthcare organization and a College of Engineering. Well, the fields of medicine and engineering are both about improving the quality of life in the society. In the 21st century, healthcare and engineering are so intrinsically connected. You go into a hospital room, you see what technology does for taking care of the humans in that room. But the resonance between ProMedica and UT, this college, and our university goes beyond our core business. High-quality healthcare in their case, and high-quality education, research, and technology commercialization in our case. We both share a commitment to service in our community. In ProMedica's case, it is advocacy and awareness programs, particularly about hunger. ProMedica is finding innovative solutions to the problem through food reclamation programs, food security screenings, organization of a food council, and traveling photographic exhibits. This is a translation of the vision of their CEO, who is our keynote speaker today. Our college, too, believes in the service to community phenomenon. In addition to our outreach efforts to young children, as well as high school students, this fall we had a student project team that developed a prosthetic flipper to allow a double amputee to swim. Another team took on renovating the Toledo Zoo's unused historic pedestrian tunnel. These are just a few ways that the college and our students give back to the community and the region. We meet 10,000 high school students each year face-to-face in their schools. I took forward to partnering with ProMedica in the future to deepen our positive impact on this community. At the personal level, I had the pleasure of working closely with Dr. Ustra during the course of last year as our two organizations, the University of Toledo and ProMedica, worked on creating a new partnership to advance medical education research on the future of medical care in Northwest Ohio. I am pleased to add, under the able guidance of our respective boards and with their support, the College of Medicine at UT and ProMedica signed a historic 50-year affiliation agreement in August 2015. Dr. Ustra holds a doctorate in management from Case Western Reserve University, a master's degree in healthcare administration from the University of Minnesota, a master's degree in management from the University of Wisconsin, and a Bachelor of Science degree in biology from Northwestern College in Orange City, Iowa. Please join me in a warm Toledo Rocket welcome to Dr. Randy Ustra.
Well, good afternoon. This is a great day. This is one of these days in life where, you kind of mark your life. You celebrate for all your hard work, and you also celebrate with all of you here, especially as we think about the recognition not only for the students, but also for all of you, especially when all the work you think that's gone into family and friends and really celebrating these days. And so this is your day. Congratulations, and enjoy it as much as you can. So I was talking to my wife about previous graduation talks we had heard, and we figured we'd heard about 25 of them, but we didn't remember any of them. So we had heard John Glenn speak, but we didn't remember what he said. There was another speaker whose mic didn't work, so literally we didn't hear anything that that person said. And there was one person who did a rap with sunglasses, and my wife said she wouldn't come along if I did that. So when I asked her to what I should speak about, she said I'd speak 10 minutes and sit down, so that's what I'm going to do today. So, but what I want to talk a little bit, you've spent a lot of money on tuition, and I have one word, and if I have one hope, it's one word that you'll leave today, and that's free. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about free will. But free is a great word. We all love free stuff. But as we look at life and as we think about what we do each and every day, it's a great word because it means that we're not confined, we're not constrained, we're not controlled by others, and we're not restricted by circumstance. So when you think about free will and what free will means, it's not, we're going to get into a religious debate here today or a philosophical term of art, but it's really our capacity to choose. And we all make choices in life. We choose an action from various alternatives. We do it every day, and we choose paths in life. So all these young men and young women here have chosen a path, and they will probably choose different paths. As our parents taught us, life is a choice, and for many of us, that's what free will, is all about. And of course, there's obvious, restrictions on that. I may say I'm going to choose to be a professional golfer, but my lack of skill and the fact the more I play, the worse I get means I probably can't do that. So there are some constraints, but we all make choices. Everybody made choices here today. You chose to be here today. Maybe some of you got drug along, maybe siblings, everything, but you still came. You chose what to wear. Some of us chose what to wear under these robes. You're going to choose today what you eat or drink. You're going to choose whether to listen for the whole day or not. You're going to choose who you talk to, and you're going to choose, how you're going to end up for the rest of the day and kind of what your attitude is. I chose to take Nagi's invitation to speak. I chose to show up, and I've chosen to speak. So we all have these issues in life. But for all the way in life, we make choices. And what we're all looking at is as far as what we do in life, and as many of us have chosen to be at the University of Toledo, many of us chosen Toledo as our home. Some of these choices are pretty well thought out. We think about them, we do what seems right at that time, we pick a career, a major that we're really interested in. Others, it's by the influence of others. It may be family influences, family traditions. It may be that there's this internal desire that we have, and that's really kind of marked our path in life. Or for some of us, and some of the decisions in life, maybe it had little or no awareness. This is where they point to the guys usually and go, you just did things without really thinking them through. But the point is, again, is that we choose paths in life. We choose a lot of things. And throughout your lives, you will choose, the decisions you make about your future, your family's lives, your friends, who you work with, what your faith is, your hobbies, your exercise routine, and everything you do in life, including your impact on your community. So sometimes we make things complicated. I went to school a lot. My wife went to school a lot. Our parents had no education. They did not go to school. The best my parents remember, they might have went to third grade. They were immigrants. They worked very hard. They were very, very positive. We grew up in small town Iowa. My wife grew up on a farm. My town had less than 3,000 people. My wife's high school had 30 people. Mine had 60. We went to a small college, a small liberal arts college that none of you have ever heard of. But what we had from our parents was this massive encouragement to pick paths and to continue to improve ourselves in life. And it was really the impressions that parents and teachers and people along the way that really reinforced the decisions that we made. So there was a recent study that was done in a company, and they asked people to fill out some questions. And it was kind of a manipulated study, and the study was to get a positive reaction out of people. And it asked them to reflect on little things like what they ate or things they accomplished at work. And when they got done with the study, they had done kind of a baseline before, and what people reported after they had dwelled on all these positive things over a few weeks and months is that they now reported they were more positive about their life. They were more positive about their family. They had less stress. They had less mental and physical ailments. And generally their lives were better. Why? Because they chose to be positive. There was a survey done of the 400 wealthiest individuals in the United States. They asked them to rank, how satisfied they were with their life. Same survey done with the Inuit people in Greenland. They live in very cold, isolated, subarctic conditions. The men hunt, the women prepare the meat. They're cattle herders. Same survey done with the Maasai of Kenya, nomadic people who live in dung huts with no electricity and running water. They had the same score. All three groups had the same score. And the point being, again, is how they looked at life, how they felt at life. And so, as we leave here today, for the graduates and for all of us, we are free to be positive. We are free to be a positive force in our lives, in our kids' lives, in our family lives, in our communities' lives. And we're free to continue to positively go after our future. So there's a management group called Hay Consulting. They do a lot of studies of graduates and leaders and leadership. Did a recent study, and they asked leaders of companies about graduates, and 76% of leaders said that graduates were not ready for their jobs. In most cases, they were intelligent enough, they were ambitious enough, they were tech savvy enough, but they lacked one critical element in life: people skills. Nagi talked about that, skills to get along with people. In the same survey, the graduates said that the most important thing was technical skills. That's what was really going to make their life. But again, 90% of the leaders said for the people who were technically competent and those that were technically competent and also that they had good people skills, they succeeded better. One of the longest longitudinal studies in the United States is at Harvard. It's called the Grant Study. Followed a group of men for 75 years through their entire lives. They went to war, they went to school, they had health, they had sickness, they had divorces, they had family issues, they had addictions, and they had all sorts of problems. Through the whole battery of tests that they did on those gentlemen, physical and psychological tests, one factor came out in what made them happy in life. only one factor that was the ultimate success factor for their lives, and that was the relationship with people. 90% of failures in jobs, of executive failures, is due to one thing: interpersonal relationships. The valedictorian of my class at Minnesota got fired in 90 days. And if you knew him and met him, you would know why. He didn't have interpersonal skills. He called me and he said, "What am I supposed to do?" They asked me to leave. I told him to leave, and I thought this is probably good to pack up and go. But really what it did, he had to come to stock with the fact that he was a very bright individual, but he didn't have people skills. And so you're free to learn to be emotionally intelligent. You're free to care about people. You're free to develop, practice, and focus on your people skills and creating positive relationships, not only with your family, but with those around you. So a lot of surveys in this country have talked about how we've lost confidence in all institutions. So you can just go through the lists. Governments, banks, healthcare, schools, media, religion, institutions. But what's happening now, and again, you look back to the volunteerism post-World War II and the fact that people say that we need to go back to that, we actually have started to go back to that. A lot more families having dinner together. A lot more family time that we see, and it's like the best it's been in generations. But there's one thing missing, and that's the fact that people aren't interacting with people different from them. And it's post-World War II. It's called the middling sort of relationships. The relationships we have people. When you went to PTA, you went to social clubs, and you found out people had different opinions, and you actually sat and talked about it. And you kind of worked through those different opinions, and you kind of went through those processes. And that's missed greatly in America, greatly today. Some of the people I learned the most from are really people that aren't what I do. Brian Kennedy at the Art Museum, Lee Powell, who's a pastor in a church, bankers, a Chinese business person who I talk to a lot here locally. One of my bosses was an executive with the National Organization for Women. I learned a lot. I learned what to say and what not to say. But the point is, we're free. We are free to connect with people. We are free to learn from other people. We're free to learn from everybody we encounter, because indeed you can learn from everybody that we work with. So the first law of motion, Isaac Newton, which you all would know a lot better than all of us, is that a body at rest stays at rest. Body in motion stays in motion unless some action happens on that body. So there are people in life who are at rest. They've been at rest their whole lives, their whole careers, not moving a bit. And then there are other people in lives that are on a trajectory, maybe an unhappy one. They're not happy with their lives. They're frustrated. Things aren't the right way. So when my wife and I were 32 years old, we decided to start over. We had a child. We had another one on the way. So much to the chagrin of my father-in-law, we sold our house. We sold our cars. We dropped all our insurance. We moved back to a two-bedroom apartment. We had 4 part-time jobs and made our way through the University of Minnesota and started over at 32 years old. And it took a few years to kind of get back to normal after that. But again, we started over, started a new path. And the reason we did that is we one day said we weren't, just weren't happy in what we're doing. So when people say you can't start new, you can start new. You can start new at 30 years old and start new when you're at 50 years old. 70% of successful businesses, their original business plan wasn't what they were doing. They were doing something different. And the steps are real clear. Every one of those businesses at some point stepped back, looked at what they were doing, reassessed, and pivoted to a new strategy. That's what we did. We stepped back and pivoted. So no matter what you think in life and where you go and what you do, you're free to pivot. You're free to go a new direction at any point in life if you decide to do that. Numerous studies have talked about the importance of volunteerism. Everything you read about the volunteer spirit in America what's made America great, really comes from the fact that, what people have done to make communities great, institutions great, country great. Research about strong charitable organizations, social impact, social communities, strong communities is real clear. It comes down to one thing. It comes down to volunteers, people being involved. Volunteerism is exceptionally good for an individual from a mental and a physical standpoint. It's great for their careers. It creates great vital social networks. It helps you address common interests. We heard about some problems that some of these students are already addressing. Public engagement, building safe and cohesive communities. So about a year ago, we had Jeffrey Canada in Toledo, speaking to a United Way meeting, Harlem Kids Zone. And he was talking to a group like this, and he stopped at one point and he said, got one bit of advice. Nobody is coming to save you. And that's true in life. Nobody's coming to save us. Nobody's going to save your life. Nobody's going to save your career, your family, your career path, or your community. It is something that we need to do ourselves. So we are free to be involved. We are free to step up. We are free to make an impact, wherever we are in life. Even if we haven't up to this point, we're free today to walk out of here and think differently, whether it's at home or work or church or charities or schools or arts or the communities. So after today, these young men and young women, their path in life incredibly, progressively becomes more of their issue. They are free to be optimistic, be a positive force. They are free to have positive relationships, not only with their family, but their friends and people very different from all of them. And they are free to pursue their priorities, develop their talents, and maybe some of them will at some point pivot and go a different direction. And also they are free, and we are all free to be involved, to be charitable with our time, our talent, and our treasure. Every day focus on being positive influences in our lives and others, in our communities, and make our lives, our families' lives, our communities' lives a better place to be. Thank you very much.
Stay here for a minute. Just next to my left. Dr. Ustra, thank you for those thought-provoking words, talking about free will as a gift, and then knowing the impact of what that free will can do for you. On behalf of the graduating class, we have a small token of appreciation I would like to give to Dr. Ustra. So if you can step to the front, please. Thank you again. Now I am honored to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Engineering. There are 249 fall 2015 baccalaureate degree candidates and 57 summer 2015 baccalaureate degree recipients that are being honored today. 4 of our degree recipients and candidates are earning 2 degrees simultaneously. 73 of them are pursuing at least 1 minor, and 8 of these students are earning 2 minors. A total of 112 students are graduating with academic honors, and that was celebrated in a different event. The following 15 students will graduate summa cum laude, having earned a cumulative grade point average of 3.9 or higher for all of their college work. They are asked to rise as their names are called, and to remain standing, please hold your applause. First one is Alexander Wise, in no alphabetical order. Alexander Wise, Jennifer Brown, Taylor Browning, Jared Dupes, Kevin Garverick, Scott Grekowitz, Lucy Hosenfeld, Maureen Logue, Jordan Higgins, Michael Pickerel, Mitchell Poppelman, Andrew Jones, John Martelletta, Nicholas Owen, and Austin Tebby. Please join me in recognizing their outstanding accomplishments. Will all candidates for baccalaureate degrees from the College of Engineering please rise? All candidates. Trustee Zerbe, as Dean of the College of Engineering, I am pleased to present the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Bioengineering, Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Engineering Technology, Bachelor of Science in Construction Engineering Technology, Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering Technology, Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, jointly offered with the College of Business and Innovation, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, and Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering Technology. Please join me in recognizing these baccalaureate degree candidates. Trustee Zerbe, I present to you these candidates for baccalaureate degrees.
Pardon me. The faculty and the Board of Trustees join me in delivering these congratulations and in noting the insoluble link between you and the University of Toledo. We are linked forever. Our good fortune is your good fortune. Your success is our pride. Now, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the State of Ohio and the trustees of the University of Toledo, I do confer upon all of the qualified candidates for baccalaureate degrees, including those in absentia, the degrees for which they have met the requirements. You are charged with the duties and responsibilities of that degree and granted the privileges and prerogatives appertaining thereto. All baccalaureate graduates may now move their tassels from the front side of their motorboards to the back side of their motorboards. Join me in recognizing these new graduates. Please be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Zerbe. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Scott Molitor, Interim Associate Dean of Undergraduate Studies and the College of Engineering Honors Program Director, who will begin the recognition ceremony for our graduates. Scott?
Thank you, Dr. Naganathan. I am pleased to begin with the recognition portion of our program. For each academic program, the undergraduate program director will announce the graduates as they cross the stage and receive congratulations and a gift from the department chair. Our photographer will take their photographs, but please feel free to take pictures during this part of the ceremony as well. We ask that you hold your applause until each degree program completes the recognition of all of their graduates. Some of the students here today have received a special medallion that they are wearing. These co-op medallions are awarded to students that successfully complete 4 or more registered cooperative education semesters in the College of Engineering, which exceeds our requirement for 3 semesters of co-op. We will now begin with graduates from the Department of Bioengineering. I request that the first row of graduates please rise and remain standing while we recognize graduates from the Department of Bioengineering. Please rise, first row. Thank you. I told the first 3 the whole row would stand up when they stood up, but I was wrong. I would now invite Department Chair Dr. Arun Nataraja and Undergraduate Program Director Dr. Patricia Relu to now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Bioengineering.
Thank you, Dr. Molitor. We have 1 graduate in the Department of Bioengineering this semester. I'd like to recognize Nurai Bailan. Thank you.
Thank you, Drs. Nataraj and Relu. I request that the first row remain standing and the second row please rise while we recognize graduates from the Department of Chemical and Environmental Engineering. I also request that each graduate come forward when their name is called. I now invite Executive Associate Dean Dr. Steve LeBlanc and Undergraduate Program Director Dr. Dongshik Kim to now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering.
Charlotte May Ackerman. She did 1 co-op with ABB Inc. and 3 co-ops with Duke Energy. Reda Ali Almahon. He did co-ops with SK Engineering and Construction Company, Ltd., and Saudi Aramco. Abdulrahman M. Al-Toaibi, Saudi Aramco and UT Chemical Engineering Department. Igor Mikhailovich Antipov, graduating magna cum laude. He did co-ops with Omnova Solutions Inc. 3 times and Plastic Technologies. Luke Allen Armstrong, graduating magna cum laude. 3 co-ops with DuPont and 1 co-op with Owens Corning. Jennifer L. Brown, graduating summa cum laude. She did co-op with Air Products and Chemicals, Inc., and UT Chemical Engineering Department. Taylor N. Browning, graduating summa cum laude. Co-op with Air Products and Chemicals, and Sage Environmental Consulting Company. Courtney Amber Cannon, she did co-op 3 times with Polymer Plus LLC. Jared Michael Dupes, graduating summa cum laude. 4 co-ops with Husky Energy. Patrick Habib Eskandari, co-ops with Nelson Manufacturing and General Electric. Zachary Alfred Francis, graduating magna cum laude. 4 co-ops with Crystal Global. Timothy Aaron Fredericks, graduating magna cum laude. 4 co-ops with PPG Industries. Kevin Thomas Gavoric, graduating magna cum laude. 4 co-ops with Toledo Refining Company. Aaron Morgan Ansley Gordon, graduating magna cum laude. 3 co-ops with General Electric and Johns Manville. Scott Michael Grekovich, graduating summa cum laude. Co-ops with Dow AgroSciences and Dow Chemicals. Grant N. Heil, graduating cum laude. Co-ops with Engineering Ministries International, EMI, and Johns Manville. Lucille Grace Hosenfeld, graduating summa cum laude. 4 co-ops with BP. Kyle Robert Kamenez, 2 co-ops with Campbell Soup Company and 2 co-ops with Owens, Illinois. Christopher Daniel Lawson, 4 co-ops with Gladfelter. Maureen O'Rourke Rogue, graduating summa cum laude. 4 co-ops with Lubrizol Corporation. Alexander James Miller, he did 4 co-ops with Gladfelter. Marie Lilia Mullins, graduating magna cum laude, co-ops with BP and Sage Environmental Consulting Company. Daniel G. Ostas Jr., 3 co-ops with Owens Corning and Therma-Tru Corporation. Anthony J. Paul, graduating cum laude, 2 co-ops with Ashland Specialty Ingredients, and 2 co-ops with Ineos nitriles. Nicholas John Pleco, co-ops with Pilkington North America Inc. and Polymer Plus LLC. Hannah Elizabeth Plezek, graduating magna cum laude, Campbell Soup Company, and 2 co-ops with Marathon Petroleum and Owens Corning. Lucas J. Pook, graduating magna cum laude, 3 co-ops with Marathon Petroleum, and 1 co-op with Polymer Plus LLC and Tenneco Inc. Corey M. Pavenmeyer, graduating cum laude, 4 co-ops with Johns Manville. Autumn K. Redding, 2 co-ops with Campbell Soup Company, 1 co-op with Lincoln Electric Company, and 1 co-op with SSOE Group. Spencer Thurber Smith, graduating cum laude, 3 co-ops with J.M. Schumacher Company. Mark Peter Solin, 2 co-ops with ABB Inc. and Marathon Petroleum Company LLC. Timothy John Zaloleta, graduating cum laude, 2 co-ops with the Becco Corporation and Eaton Corporation and Libby Inc. Melissa Lee Thoman, graduating magna cum laude, 3 co-ops with Johns Manville. Troy Allen Thompson, 1 co-op with ATA Tools and 2 co-op with Fluor. Amanda Michelle Vogel, 4 co-ops with Toledo Refining Company. Jeffrey Michael Williams II, 4 co-ops with Cooper Tire and Rubber Company. Seth Ryan Williams, 4 co-ops with the Campbell Soup Company. Jonathan Michael Wills, graduating magna cum laude, 2 co-ops with Chemtrade Logistics, 1 co-op with Marathon Petroleum, and 1 co-op with Scott's Miracle Grow. J. Michael Wilson, he did 4 co-ops with Owens Corning. Matthew David Wolf, graduating cum laude. He did co-ops with ABB Inc., Chemtrade Logistics, and Persta Polyols. Derek Joseph Jukowski, graduating magna cum laude. He did 4 co-ops with the Ineos nitriles. Please join me in congratulating 2015 chemical engineering graduates. Thank you.
Thank you, Drs. LeBlanc and Dr. Kim. I now ask the first row be seated and the second row please remain standing. We will now recognize graduates from the Department of Civil Engineering. I request that each graduate come forward when their name is called. Department Chair, Dr. Asha Kumar, and Undergraduate Program Director, Dr. Cindy Gruden, will now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering.
Hassan Abdallah Ajram. Hassan completed co-ops with Adnan Safarini and GEM Inc. Audrey H. Bowen. Audrey's graduating magna cum laude. She did co-ops with Hull & Associates, Marathon Petroleum, and Western Summit. Austin L. Brahani, he's graduating cum laude. He did co-ops with Sigma Technologies and Western Summit Constructors. Erica Nicole Contreras, she did co-ops with Lathrop Corporation and Ohio Engineers Apprentice. Adam James Donnell. Adam completed co-ops with the City of Toledo Division of Engineering Services. Matthew Miller Dorr. Matt completed co-ops with the City of Toledo Division of Engineering, Glass City Engineering and Surveying, and MAP Land Surveying. Jessica Marie Ezzy. Jessica's graduating magna cum laude. She did co-ops with AECOM, Euthenix Inc., and Marathon Petroleum. Philip Gable. Philip is graduating cum laude. He did 3 co-ops with the Ohio Department of Transportation. Bryce Alexander Hazy. He's graduating magna cum laude. He completed 3 co-ops with Michael Baker Jr. and 1 with Sigma Technologies. Casey C. Heitkamp. She's graduating cum laude. She did 4 co-ops with Choice One Engineering. Christine Mary Hoholsky. She's graduating cum laude. She did co-ops with Kokosing and Marathon Petroleum. Carly J. Houston. She's graduating this semester after doing co-ops with JDI, Marathon, and Matrix. Joshua Kirk. He did co-ops with Kicklow Sparing and Mannequin Smith. Paige Kutschbach. She's graduating cum laude. She did co-ops with D.S. Brown, Rudolph Libby, and Ullman Schutte. Michael Lee Lutz. He's graduating cum laude. He did 3 co-ops with the City of Oregon and 1 with Ullman Schutte. Emmanuel Marrero. He completed 3 co-ops with Acme Construction and 1 with Sigma Technologies. Calvin Michael Meyer. Calvin's graduating cum laude, and he did 3 co-ops with SSOE Group. Michael M. Pickrell. Michael's graduating summa cum laude. He did co-ops with Rudolph Libby and Ullman Schutte. Douglas James Renault. He's graduating cum laude. He did co-ops with Michigan Gas Utilities, Rudolph Libby, and Tetra Tech. Nicholas J. Roof. He did 2 co-ops with the City of Monroe and 1 with the Village of Dundee. John Michael Scherger. John completed co-ops with the City of Toledo Division of Engineering Services. Benjamin Daniel Schilling. He's graduating magna cum laude, and he did co-ops with American Structure Point and Quest Group. Hillary Sarum. Hillary completed co-ops with the City of Toledo Division of Engineering Services and Ohio Department of Transportation. Chen Shen. Chen's graduating magna cum laude. He did co-ops with UT in the Department of Civil Engineering and at IKEA Center in China. Grant Lee Steigerwald. Grant did 4 co-ops with the City of Oregon. Scott Nicholas Stelma. Scott's graduating cum laude. He did co-ops with the City of Toledo Division of Engineering Services, the Douglas Company, and Matrix Technologies. Aaron Bobber Stelzer. He did 3 co-ops with Glass City Engineering and Surveying. And David Szymanski. David is graduating magna cum laude. He completed 2 co-ops with Ullman Schutte and 2 co-ops with Marathon Petroleum. And can we have a round of applause for the graduates from the Department of Civil Engineering?
Thank you, Drs. Kumar and Gruden. I now ask the second row of graduates please be seated, and the third row of graduates please stand. We will now recognize graduates from the Department of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. I request that each graduate from the Computer Science and Engineering program please come forward when their name is called. Department Chair Dr. Mansour Alam and Undergraduate Program Director Dr. Richard Maliette will now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Engineering.
Austin W. Albrecht. Austin is graduating cum laude and did co-ops with Ridge Tool, Division of Emerson Electric. Anthony Joseph Byer. Anthony did co-ops with BASF and Palmer Conservation Consulting. Jade Douglas Carney. Jade is graduating cum laude and did co-ops with Diebold Incorporated, Macy's Systems and Technology, and Medical Mutual. Christopher Rodney Clay. Christopher did 4 co-ops with Lubrizol Corporation. Nikki Jo Etkin. Nikki did her co-ops with Eureka Gaming and UT One World Schoolhouse. Brian Edwin Ford. Brian did his co-ops with Diebold Incorporated and North Star Blue Scope Steel, LLC. Christopher M. Goodwin. Christopher did his co-ops with Eureka Gaming and PC Solutions. Jordan Richard Higgins. Jordan is graduating summa cum laude and did his co-ops with Ridge Tool, Division of Emerson Electric. Ryan D. Hunt. Ryan did his co-ops with Chrysler Group LLC and Technology Group International. Sean Christopher Mahoney. Sean did his co-ops with UT Engineering College Computing. Andrew A. Mihalsik. Andrew did his co-ops with Chrysler Group LLC. Andre Moyet. Andre did his co-ops with Banyan Technology, Ridge Tool, Division of Emerson Electric. Forrest Noel Baba. Forrest is graduating magna cum laude and did his co-ops with Marathon Petroleum Company, LLC. Austin William Norton. Austin did his co-ops with Cooper Tire and Rubber Company. Sean Daniel Oberly. Sean is graduating magna cum laude and did his co-ops with Marathon Petroleum Company, LLC. Thomas Charles Royko. Thomas did his co-ops with ABB Incorporated and Rockwell Automation. Son H. Fan. Son is graduating magna cum laude and did his co-ops with R.W. Beckett Corporation. Brian Michael Shaner. Brian did his co-ops with Chrysler Group, LLC. Dennis Duenas Silva. Dennis is graduating cum laude and did his co-ops with Ridge Tool, Division of Emerson Electric, Software Answers Incorporated, and Progressive Book. Kevin John Sklarick. Kevin is graduating magna cum laude and did his co-ops with Lubrizol Corporation. Joshua Daniel Smith. Joshua is graduating cum laude and did his co-ops with the National Security Agency. Please join me in congratulating the graduates in computer science and engineering.
I would ask the third row to remain standing and ask the fourth row, please rise. I would request that each graduate from the electrical engineering program come forward when their name is called. Again, I'd like to ask Department Chair Dr. Mansour Alam and Undergraduate Program Director Dr. Richard Maliette to now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering.
Ahmed Hassan Al-Nakli. Ahmed did his co-ops with Romark and SSOE Group. Daniel Joseph Booth. Daniel did his co-ops with Adrian Steel Corporation, DTE Energy, and Schindler Elevator Corporation. Brandon Joseph Brigadoy. Brandon did his co-ops with MK Power Solutions Incorporated. Julia Lynn Cornett. Julia did her co-ops with Toledo Refining Company. Stephen Jacob DePore. Stephen is graduating cum laude and did his co-ops with General Electric and Midmark Corporation. Taylor B. Depew. Taylor did his co-ops with Owens Corning. Daniel Deal. Daniel is graduating cum laude and did his co-ops with Premier System Integrators. Kevin Andrew Zieni. Kevin did his co-ops with Karpinski Engineering and Whirlpool Corporation. Joshua J. Fry. Joshua is graduating magna cum laude and did his co-ops with Crown Equipment Corporation. And Brian E. Ford. Brian is a dual major and did his co-ops with Diebold Incorporated and with North Star Blue Scope Steel. Forgot to watch from the other direction there. Okay, Rachel N. Gerber. Rachel did her co-ops with Whirlpool Corporation. Isaac John Honigford. Isaac did his co-ops with Advanced Control Solutions Incorporated, ACSI, and with Husky Energy. Taylor Clark Killian. Taylor did his co-ops with ABB Incorporated and UT ECS Department. Bilal Mohammed Obid. Bilal did his co-ops with SNC Lavalin Fayez Engineering, SSOE Group, and Thermatru Corporation. Ivan Palacios. Ivan did his co-ops with Kimberly Clark and L3 Communications. Chelsea A. Pusey. Chelsea did her co-ops with Marathon Petroleum Company, LLC. Cal J. Reese. Cal did his co-ops with Matrix Technologies Incorporated and Pepero Fuchs Incorporated. Douglas W. Rogers. Douglas did his co-ops with Lean Track Incorporated. Nick R. Rose. Nick did his co-ops with Crown Equipment Corporation. Eric Wesley Skaggs. Eric did his co-ops with Kester Corporation and UT Radio Station. Chris Snyder. Chris is graduating magna cum laude and did his co-ops with Lean Track Incorporated. John M. Stone. John did his co-ops with General Electric and Keithley Instruments Incorporation and PVIC. Joseph Kilchin Tomasi. Joseph did his co-ops with Honda, North Star Steel, and Davy Resource Group. Chad Michael Tremaine. Chad did his co-ops with Dana Corporation and R.W. Beckett Corporation. Justin David Wendell. Justin's graduating magna cum laude and did his co-ops with Crown Equipment Corporation. Please join me in recognizing the graduates in electrical engineering.
Thank you, Drs. Alam and Maliette. I would ask the third row graduates to please be seated and the fourth row graduates to remain standing. We will now recognize graduates from the Department of Engineering Technology. This department has 5 baccalaureate degree programs: Computer Science and Engineering Technology, Construction Engineering Technology, Information Technology, Electrical Engineering Technology, and Mechanical Engineering Technology. A majority of these students have been employed full-time in their chosen discipline for a large part of their academic career. Many have come back to school to complete degrees while balancing schoolwork, their professional careers, and full-time family duties. Thus, we would like to highlight the positions that these graduates have held while progressing toward their degrees, in addition to those who have participated in the co-op program. We will begin with candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Engineering Technology. I will request that each graduate from Computer Science and Engineering Technology come forward when their name is called. I would also like to invite Department Chair Dr. Alan Duncan and Undergraduate Program Director Professor Emeritus Dan Solaric to now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Engineering Technology.
Travis John Chase. Travis is graduating cum laude and worked full-time at the UT Medical Center. Ryan Anthony Cleghorn. Ryan worked full-time as Director of Technology at St. Joan of Arc. Marvin Eric Donner. Marvin worked full-time for the City of Cleveland. Mark Anthony Fraser. Kavan Nico Murden. I'd like to invite Professor Emeritus Dan Seaman to join Dr. Alan Duncan at center stage. Dr. Seaman is the grandfather of our next graduate. Michael Patrick Seaman. Michael did his co-ops at Rigid Technology. Dan, before. Please join me in congratulating these graduates of the Computer Science and Engineering Technology program.
Thank you, Professor Emeritus Solaric. Next, I request that each graduate from the Construction Engineering Technology program come forward when their name is called. Department Chair Dr. Alan Duncan and Undergraduate Program Director Dr. Nicholas Kissoff will now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Construction Engineering Technology.
It's now my distinct pleasure to present to you the Fall 2015 class of candidates for a Bachelor of Science degrees in Construction Engineering Technology. Omar Ahmed Al-Mazraoui. Omar is the third of the three Al-Mazraoui brothers to earn a CET degree, program degree here at the University of Toledo. Aaron Galambas. Aaron worked full-time for the City of Toledo Department of Public Utilities Water Treatment Division. Matt Guy. Matt interned with the Douglas Company in Holland, Ohio. Josh Hutchison. Josh interned at Mobis North America in Plymouth, Michigan. Zach Lambert. Zach worked for Meticulous Masonry while completing his studies. Derek Steckschulte, graduating cum laude. Derek co-opted with Western Summit Constructors and E.S. Wagner. Brett Strange. Brett interned with WD Partners in Irvine, California, the City of Dayton Civil Engineering Department, and with Hensel Phelps, the Northern California District. Kevin Watts, graduating cum laude. Kevin co-opted for Rudolph Libby with Weber Engineering Services and the Geis Companies in Fremont, California and Streetsboro, Ohio. And Alex Weiss, graduating summa cum laude. Alex co-opted with Rudolph Libby in Walbridge, Ohio, and the Lucas County Engineers Office Traffic Division. There's our class of construction graduates. Let's go build something, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Kissoff. I now request that each electrical engineering technology graduate come forward when their name is called. Department Chair Dr. Alan Duncan and Undergraduate Program Director Dr. Ted Evans will now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering Technology degree program.
Ali Khalid Al-Ghamdi. Qasim Halal Al-Jabbar. Yosef Abdul Razak Al-Muhammad Ali, who graduates magna cum laude. Ahmed Al-Rashidi. Daniel L. Anderson. Daniel graduates cum laude, and he's worked full-time for the Pilkington Corporation while he's been working or studying. Kevin Dean Bernhard II, co-opt with Lafarge, Marathon Petroleum, and Matrix Technologies. Thomas Philip Drouillard III. Brian Edward Ellithorpe, co-op with Toledo Refining Company. Jordan Estefan Gonzalez, co-opt with the Marathon Petroleum Company. Tyler Jacob Hoffman, co-opt with General Motors, Marathon Petroleum, and Cooper Tire. Andrew Lynch, co-opt with the City of Toledo Division of Water Treatment and the SSOE Group. Patrick Andrew Rediger. Patrick graduates cum laude and has co-op with the Marathon Petroleum Company and Matrix Technologies. Brad Reimers, co-op with Bungie and Toledo Molding and Die. David Jonathan Shields graduates magna cum laude while working full-time for First Solar. Please join me in congratulating all the graduates in electrical engineering technology.
Thank you, Dr. Evans. Will the fourth row of graduates please be seated? And I would ask the fifth row please rise. I would request that each candidate for a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology please come forward when their names are called. Department Chair Dr. Alan Duncan and Undergraduate Program Director Professor Emeritus Dan Solaric will now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Information Technology.
Matthew Joseph Burley. Matthew is graduating magna cum laude and works full-time at Kettering Health Network in Dayton. Austin Gregory Howard. Austin works full-time at Apple Corporation and UT's Information Technology Department. Eric Stover. Eric worked full-time at Campbell Soup and the Andersons. Please join me in congratulating these information technology graduates.
I would now request that each mechanical engineering technology graduate please come forward when their names are called. Department Chair Dr. Alan Duncan and Undergraduate Program Director Dr. Carmen Schock will now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering Technology.
Today, we have an exceptional group of MET students. They are Cameron Brown. Cameron was working for Aramark, FedEx, and SFBE while in school. Jared Dunn. Jared held 5 co-ops positions, 1 with Reach Tool and 4 with Tenneco. He also was employed by Tenneco, and he will go back to Tenneco for a full-time position. Andrew Fitzsimmons. Andrew had 3 co-op positions with Emerson and 2 with Owens. He will be employed by Owens. Stephen Fordner. Charles Foster. While in school, Charles worked for Toledo Hospital, the ProMedica. He's still working with ProMedica after graduation. Matthew Holland, graduating magna cum laude. Matthew had 4 co-ops positions, 3 with Matrix Technologies and 1 with Taylor Automotive Group. He will be hired by Matrix Technology. Eric Hulskamp. Eric had 5 co-op positions, all with Crown. from tool designer to supervisor to product engineer. He will be employed by Sapa Extrusions. Kurt Yakish. Kurt had 4 co-op positions, all with GEM. He was employed by GEM, and after graduation, he will work for Alex Products. Shane Jamerson. Shane will go to work for Automatic Handling International. Dylan Colmorgan, graduating cum laude. Dylan had 1 co-op with Chrysler Group and 2 co-op with Ariel Corporation. Jacob Lefall. Jacob had 3 co-op positions with L&W Engineering and the Andersons. He worked also for the Anderson and will be going to Norplus Industry for a full-time position. Eric Lesniewski, graduating cum laude. While in school, Eric was self-employed, and after graduation, he will go to work for Automatic Handling International. Corey Mesher. While in school, Corey was working for Schuster Manufacturing, and he will be employed by Honda of America Manufacturing in Anna, Ohio, graduating cum laude. Thomas Patrick. While in school, Thomas was employed by Monroe Sports Center. Stephen Poisser. While in school, Stephen worked for TARPS and UT Transit. After graduating, he will go to work for TARPS. Levi Van Vlera. Sven Weiser. Sven was employed by University of Toledo Recreation Center. Please join me in congratulating the MET graduates.
Thank you, Drs. Duncan and Schock. I would ask the 5th row graduates to remain standing and also request that the final row of graduates please rise as we recognize graduates from the Department of Mechanical, Industrial, and Manufacturing Engineering. I would request that each mechanical engineering graduate please come forward when their name is called. Department Chairman Dr. Abdi Afja and Undergraduate Program Director Dr. Matthew Franchetti will now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering.
Ralph Blaze Bednars. Ralph is graduating magna cum laude and completed his co-ops with Federal Mogo and Hydrothrift. Robert Norman Bender. Robert completed his co-ops with Toyota. Adam Z. Bess. Adam completed his co-ops with Pilkington, North America. Kenneth Michael Boyle. Kenneth completed his co-ops with the UT MIME department. Tyler Anthony Bruns. Tyler completed his co-ops with Honda and Midmark. Brian Mitchell Bussing. Brian completed his co-ops with AECom, Blissfield Manufacturing, and NS Enterprises, earning a co-op medallion. Tyler James Campbell. Tyler completed his co-ops with Avon Products and the Whirlpool Corporation. Courtney Crable. Courtney completed her co-ops with ZF TRW. Kenny Aquist. Kenny is graduating cum laude and completed his co-ops with National Flight Services and Rudolph Libby. Kyle J. Evers. Kyle is graduating magna cum laude and completed his co-ops with the Toledo Refining Company. Nicholas A. Flora. Nicholas earned a co-op medallion working with Worthington Industries and Norplast Industries. Jeffrey Joseph Fuzinski. Jeffrey is graduating cum laude and completed his co-ops with Owens, Illinois and Tenneco. Jacob W. Garber. Jacob completed his co-ops with the City of Toledo Environmental Services and Mark & Associates. Ethan J. Gherkin. Ethan is graduating magna cum laude and earned a co-op medallion working with the Toledo Refining Company. Andrew Girth. Andrew completed his co-ops with Dana, Lincoln Electric, and Thermatru Corporation. Hulu Gu. Hulu completed his co-ops with Cremar Industrial and Queenac Pump Company Limited. Kyle David Johnson. Kyle is graduating cum laude and earned a co-op medallion with Dana Corporation and Tenneco. Andrew Joseph Jones. Andrew is graduating summa cum laude and earned a co-op medallion working with Johns Hopkins University and NSS Enterprises. Leo Patrick Karzak. Leo earned a co-op medallion working with Mommy Pattern and Whirlpool Corporation. Mackenzie Thomas Kewick. Mackenzie is graduating magna cum laude and completed his co-ops with Sierra Lobo Incorporated. Andrew Joseph Lysecki. Andrew earned a co-op medallion working with Cooper Tire and Rubber Company. Bezan Madden. Bezan completed his co-ops with Tenneco Incorporated and the Bioengineering Department. Kevin E. Malik. Kevin earned a co-op medallion working with the Austin Company, Dana Corporation, and ZF TRW. John Martellata. John is graduating summa cum laude and completed his co-ops with Swaglock Companies and Owens Corning. Tyler J. Mathis. Tyler earned a co-op medallion working with Crane Aerospace and Electronics. John Edward Myers. John is graduating cum laude and completed his co-ops with Toledo Molding and Die, WHS Engineering, and Worthington Steels Industry. Ben David Nielsen. Ben is graduating magna cum laude and completed his co-ops with Husky Energy and Tenneco. Thomas M. Nordyke. Thomas earned a co-op medallion working with DTE Energy. Audra Osborne. Audra completed her co-ops with UT and Carlex. Nicholas J. Owen. Nicholas is graduating summa cum laude and completed his co-ops with Crown Equipment and the Dana Corporation. Brett Richard Paul. Brett completed his co-ops with Bungie, Tenneco, and the Whirlpool Corporation. Michael Joseph Perursky. Michael completed his co-ops with Eaton Corporation and Plastic Technologies Incorporated, earning a co-op medallion. Mitchell Robert Peppelman. Mitchell is graduating magna cum laude and completed his co-ops with Nidec Minster Corporation. Kaya Nicole Potts. Kaya completed her co-ops with General Electric and NASA. Logan Christopher Rickle. Logan is graduating cum laude and completed his co-ops with Dana Corporation and General Electric, earning a co-op medallion. Hunter Michael Rupp. Hunter completed his co-ops with Mobis North America and Romanoff Electric. Aaron K. Schicker. Aaron earned a co-op medallion working with Rolled Alloys and Trek Bicycle Corporation. Tyler James Schrader. Tyler is graduating magna cum laude, completing co-ops and earning a medallion with Dana Corporation and Honda. Jamie L. Slider. Jamie is graduating cum laude and completed her co-ops with Materion. Peter Anthony Schrei. Peter completed his co-ops with U.S. Endoscopy. Julia Corinne Starr. Julia earned a co-op medallion with Dana Corporation. Amber Studer. Amber is graduating cum laude and completed her co-ops with Parker Hannafin. Benjamin M. Swanson. Ben completed his co-ops with Marathon Special Projects and NSS Enterprises. Austin L. Tebby. Austin is graduating summa cum laude and completed his co-ops with Emerson. John Robert Tebby. John is graduating magna cum laude and completed co-ops with Nidec Minster Corporation, earning a co-op medallion. Craig William Thomas. Craig earned a co-op medallion with Norplast Industries and the Whirlpool Corporation. Matthew C. Valhaber. Matthew is graduating cum laude and completed his co-ops with Parker Hannafin. Neil T. Wagner. Neil is graduating cum laude and completed his co-ops with CCG Automation and the Toledo Refining Company, earning a co-op medallion. Sawyer Wick. Sawyer completed his co-ops with Assign World and Green Bay Packaging Incorporated. Danielle Jolene Williams. Danielle completed her co-ops with Tenneco Incorporated. Fan Yang. Fan completed his co-ops with ZPMC and the UT MIME department. Kyle J. Zepp. Kyle is graduating magna cum laude and earned a co-op medallion with Parker Hannafin, Schindler Elevator, and the Toledo Molding and Die Company. Please join me in congratulating our mechanical engineering graduates.
Thank you, Drs. Afjay and Franchetti. All graduates may now be seated. Let's give them one final big round of applause. It is now my pleasure to again introduce Dr. Nicholas Kissoff, representative of the UT Engineering Alumni Affiliate, who will welcome our graduates to the ranks of the alumni.
As a three-time graduate of the University of Toledo and as a past president of the engineering affiliate of the University of Toledo Alumni Association, I'm very honored to be one of the last people to extend congratulations to all of our engineering graduates on stage here today. It's also my privilege and pleasure to welcome our new graduates to the UT Alumni Association and the College of Engineering Alumni Affiliate. So congratulations on making it this far and getting through to this point. To help you remain connected to the university and to other UT alums as well, all of today's graduates are being given a complimentary membership to the UT Alumni Association. That means, here's that word again, it's free. And not only free, but free for 5 years. So all we ask is that you renew your membership when your complimentary membership expires. The Alumni Association can enrich your life with connections for many years to come. There are more than 18,000 UT College of Engineering alumni located throughout the world. I think half of them were in my office bartering for grades yesterday. Wherever you may go, there are alumni out there, and your Alumni Association can help you keep in contact with them. Additionally, the association will keep you connected to the University of Toledo. So as of right now, you belong. Welcome. Whenever you have the opportunity to do so, come to some of our alumni events, our affiliate events. Come alone, bring friends and family, or just use the events as a reason to show up and get together with some of your old friends from here today. Details of all alumni events are always found on the UT Alumni website. The College of Engineering's motto is, we recruit a graduating class, not a freshman class. I always like to take that to a little step farther. We recruit alumni and not a freshman class. We're proud of our alumni, and we hope that you return some of that pride and loyalty back to your college and university in the years to come. At this point, I would now like to introduce and turn the program over to Professor Richard Springman, who will guide us all through the Order of the Engineer ceremony. Richard.
Thank you, Nick. It's my pleasure today to conduct the Order of the Engineer ceremony, in which we induct today's graduates into the Order of the Engineer. You can see the large ring on the front console there representing the Order of the Engineer. First, on behalf of link number 70 of the Order of the Engineer, I congratulate today's graduates on completing a significant academic achievement. As Professor and Provost Barrett noted, having completed the academic portion of their studies, they are now embarking upon the engineering career itself. And that's what I'd like to focus on now. Each of you received, as you came across the stage, a packet. If you look in that packet, you'll find a certificate indicating that you will soon belong to the Order of the Engineer. There is also a pen. I invite you to sign that certificate. You will also find a small stainless steel ring, which is worn on the fifth finger of the working hand. I invite you to locate your ring and put that on as I explain the significance of the Order of the Engineer. To do that, I'd like to start by taking a little tour back in history. The date is August 29th, 1907. We're in Quebec at the site of a bridge construction on the St. Lawrence River. The bridge has been designed by Theodore Cooper, who is overseeing its completion. It's been in the progress of completion for several years now, but it's nearing the end of that construction. It's almost quitting time on the 29th. Not quite time yet for the horn to sound ending the working day, but almost. There are 86 workers still out on the bridge, plying their trade. Suddenly, without warning, a loud crack sounds across the water. And as people look up, the bridge slowly begins to crumble and tumble into the river. Of those 86 workers, only 11 of them survive. The bridge is quite significant in its design and construction. At the time, it was the longest bridge span in the world. That since has been eclipsed by the Ambassador Bridge, which was completed in 1929, which is the longest bridge span. But the Quebec Bridge, which was rebuilt after the accident, still stands as the longest cantilever span in the world. And as such, Theodore Cooper was quite proud of his accomplishment in its design. He was nearing the end of a long and illustrious career for which he held world renown. And this was to be rather the crowning achievement, signifying his retirement until this accident. In retrospect, in looking at the bridge, it was determined that preliminary calculations had not been checked prior to final calculation. Changes were made in the construction of the bridge that nobody had gone back and checked to make sure that the bridge could withstand those changes. In technical terms, in short, the dead load on the bridge was too large, meaning that it couldn't support itself. It was too heavy. After the collapse, Cooper came in for severe criticism in the way he handled the design and the construction of the bridge, but I don't think we can look directly at him. The fault went to many who participated. He was but the lead, the designer. There were many engineers who worked on it, and there were many signs during the construction of the bridge that things weren't right. But everyone pushed ahead because it was so important to complete it on time. Let's move ahead again. It's now 1922. We're in Montreal. The 7 past presidents of the Engineering Institute of Canada are meeting, and they're talking about education and engineering. And Professor Edward Haltain, one of the members of the group, suggests to the group that he thinks there should be something that represents, particularly for young engineers, the symbolic collection of what engineers do and who they are. His colleagues agree with him, and they decide to institute what comes to be called the ritual of the calling of an engineer, very similar to our Order of the Engineer. Haltain thought it was important enough that he should invite someone of some significance to write the ritual itself. And so he invited Rudyard Kipling, a well-known author in his day, who had written some significant things about engineers in a very proud manner. So he invited Kipling to write that ceremony, and Kipling did. In Kipling's words, the ritual of the calling of an engineer has been instituted with a simple end of directing the young engineer towards a consciousness of his profession and its significance, and indicating to the older engineer his responsibilities in receiving, welcoming, and supporting young engineers in their beginnings. The first ritual was held in Canada in 1925, and it was and still is a private ceremony as to the public one that we hold here today. Let's move ahead in time. It's much later now. It's 1966. And people in the United States are talking about the ritual in Canada and saying, why don't we have something like that in the United States? So after much planning, the first ring ceremony is held in the United States, and it's at the Fenn College of Engineering at Cleveland State University in Cleveland. It was on June 4th, 1970. 170 seniors and faculty members were inducted into the order. The second ceremony was also in Ohio. It was at the University of Akron in February of 1971. The purpose of the order is to foster a spirit of pride and responsibility in the engineering profession, to bridge the gap between training and practice, and to present the public with a visible symbol identifying the engineer. The order is symbolized by the acceptance of an obligation, the obligation that our graduates today just signed, and the wearing of a stainless steel ring on the 5th finger of the working hand. There are no meetings or requirements, another free element today. Then the ring ceremony, which we're conducting now, and we do as part of the graduation ceremony. The obligation is a composite of several creeds. It emphasizes the fact that we as engineers have certain obligations. It promotes honesty and integrity and recognizes that today's engineers are dependent on their predecessors to gain their skills. The personal integrity of a member and respect for the good opinion of his or her peers is the discipline expected of all members of the order. The Engineers Ring Ceremony is the public induction of candidates into the Order of the Engineer, during which the candidates formally accept the obligation and receive the stainless steel ring. The ring, a symbol of continuity and community, is worn for all to see, and in effect says, here is an engineer possessed of a publicly avowed dedication to the profession and those it serves. And those that we serve are you, the public. I would invite our graduates to stand. In your program, you will find on page 23 the obligation of an engineer. I will begin to read that. I invite you to join me in those words which are printed in bold. I am an engineer. In my profession, I take deep pride. To it, I owe solemn obligations. Since the Stone Age, human progress has been spurred by the engineering genius. Engineers have made usable nature's vast resources of material and energy for mankind's benefit. Engineers have vitalized and turned to practical use the principles of science and the means of technology. Were it not for this heritage of an accumulated experience, my efforts would be feeble. As an engineer, I pledge to practice integrity and fair dealing, tolerance and respect, and to uphold devotion to the standards and the dignity of my profession, conscious always that my skill carries with it the obligation to serve humanity by making the best use of Earth's precious wealth. As an engineer, in humility and with a need for divine guidance, I shall participate in none but honest enterprises. When needed, my skill and knowledge shall be given without reservation for the public good. In performance of duty and in fidelity to my profession, I shall give my utmost. Our speaker today, Dr. Ustra, reminded us of the free choices that we have. You have chosen to pursue an engineering profession. With that profession comes an obligation to those that we serve. It is my hope that you will choose to honor that obligation. May you wear your ring proudly and for a long time as you pursue your career. Congratulations, and you may be seated.
Thank you, Professor Springman. On behalf of our College of Engineering faculty, staff, and students, I thank all of you for taking part in this very special occasion today. As you can sense, this is as much a special occasion for us as it is for you. Graduates, you leave here as Toledo rocket engineering alumni with endless possibilities. As a college, we are not only committed to educating great engineers, but we are also committed to graduating the leaders of tomorrow. It is in this context I want to leave our graduates with one final piece of advice. Please know that the leadership positions of CEOs and chairman of the board are not reserved for business school graduates or graduates of other universities on the East and West Coast. You have the talent, the abilities, and the passion within yourselves to achieve these goals. As I always like to say, if you know your stuff and you know that you know your stuff, you can walk with that quiet swagger. We wish you the very best, and we look forward to celebrating your achievements in these roles in the not too distant future. I would be remiss if I did not recognize the efforts of our outstanding faculty and staff at this time and the dedication to the success of our students. Please join me in thanking our faculty and staff. Special events like these turn out to be great celebrations because there are people among us who truly care and help to make these celebrations happen. Thanks to all the college staff who work so hard to make this a special day for our graduates. As we conclude this event, I invite all of you to join us in a reception in honor of our graduates on the first floor of Nitschke Hall. Our photographer will be milling through the reception to take family portraits. Please note that information to obtain copies of the photographs is in the program. I now ask you to rise for the University of Toledo alma mater, Fair Toledo. The words of the alma mater can be found on the back cover of your program. After the alma mater, those in academic regalia will remain standing for the recessional. All others are asked to take their seats and to remain seated until the graduates depart from the auditorium and travel through the tunnel of honor formed by our faculty and special guests. Thank you all. Have a safe drive home. Wish you all a wonderful holiday season and a very happy new year.